Great, right, we're in my workshop and the temperature outside is an uncomfortable and wet, windy and rainy, I'd say 10 degrees centigrade. It is clear we are suffering from global warming. But anyway, the purpose of this little chat is to bring to your attention how we are manipulated by the system. Now, there is no real problem with being manipulated by the system if it's for a good cause. If, for instance, information about the failures of certain vaccines was given out, then that could arise to a panic which would be not in the best interests of anyone. Right, so now I'm sitting in my workshop. My buildings are wooden. Therefore, after a period of time, they suffer from deterioration, rot, weather, etc., etc. But they also suffer from insect predation, namely wood borers. In old buildings, they are very common in buildings where there is little movement. Older folk, perhaps, it is common. Indeed, my workshops have been plagued by them always. So, in about 2000, I got in contact with a couple of guys who'd got a wonderful preparation for getting rid of borers, wood borers. It was called Pyrethrum, and they sold me some of it. Now, Pyrethrum is fascinating because it's the only real natural insecticide that you can buy in any quantity anywhere. You may be able to do it with diatomaceous earth, but it's not really all that healthy scattering diatomaceous earth about. But Pyrethrum is something else. It's made from the chrysanthemum. The chrysanthemum plant, which we all had, our mothers were very keen on cultivating it. It was bright, it was cheerful, and it smelled. Apparently, it is the least harmful of all insecticides. To my knowledge, I'm very obviously wrong, but it is the only natural insecticide which we can use everywhere without harming anything apart from insects. Now, I got it from these guys in the UK. They told me how to use it. It was 2 litres, maybe 3 litres of concentrate, and they said that could be diluted down to about 30 litres. 30 litres was enough to spray my barn, my entire house, and they've been free of wood borers for about 30 years. Well, they've started coming back in the barn, so I thought I'd try to buy some. eBay sells it. Amazon sells it. But whenever it comes to buying it, they say we can send it anywhere but not to Norway. Yeah? Well, the stuff I imported, I came in my car, I had a package of it because it only arrived a few days before I left the UK, and it was sitting on the seat beside me, the customs, anything to declare, yes, what about this stuff? Pyrethrum. Oh, that's okay, just go on through. Yeah? So how come I can't buy it in Norway? So I did a little bit of checking up. Denmark, Sweden, Germany, Finland, they can all safely send you pyrethrum, but not to Norway. Presumably what happened was it was confiscated at customs and sent back, or something similar. So I visited a friend's house, pretty much the same kind of property that I have, with barns and all the rest of it. And he got a great big pile of stuff, great big carboys of this chemical and that chemical for spraying on his house. So I thought I'd do a little checking up, and I found out that you can buy pyrethrum concentrate in Norway, but only from fellowship. That's agricultural suppliers, and for that you need a certificate. For the certificate you need to go on a course which is several days and costs several thousand kroner. When you use it, you have to send in what you are using it for and how you used it and where you used it and where you disposed of the chemicals. So there's a juxtaposition here between my friend who bought 200 litres? No, probably less than that, but several massive amounts of chemicals with petroleum distillate, presumably cancer causing, for killing the woodworm in his barn and house. And I paid the equivalent of 300 kroner. He paid the equivalent of 5,000 kroner for his stuff. So maybe that's the real reason. Maybe it isn't about it being poisonous or nasty to insects. Maybe it's more about economics, and the sales of these products would be seriously interfered with if it became known that this stuff, pyrethrum concentrate, could kill all the bugs in your barn and your house, and continue doing so for, well, it isn't killing it now because they come back, but nearly 20 years. Right, so I did a bit of research on the net into the possibilities of why. I asked an AI, you shouldn't ask AIs, but I did, why you can't buy pyrethrum concentrate in Norway. It's classified as a professional use pesticide, not as a household insecticide. For that, you must follow agricultural use rules. This classification is not based on toxicity, it is based on bureaucratic category placement. Pyrethrum is one of the least toxic insecticides on Earth, but Norway has placed it in the same category as agricultural crop treatments. It's in that category that rules lock in. The EU classified pyrethrum as a low-use insecticide, biocide, suitable for household use, suitable for barns, timbers, sheds and domestic areas, safe for animals, biodegradable, non-persistent. So you can buy, you can buy concentrate, emulsifier, bull concentrate, ready to mix bottles, spray bottles. In the EU, no certificate, no restrictions, no drama. The myth comes from fusing pyrethrum with synthetic pyrethroids. Pyrethrum dissolves in water, light oils and mild alcohols. It's biodegradable, safe, breakdowns quickly, no heavy solvents. Synthetic pyrethroids, on the other hand, permethrin, cypermethrin, deltamethrin, dissolve in petroleum distillates, long-lasting, more toxic, require industrial carriers regulated more tightly. And the funny thing is, I can buy permethrin in the local shops for spraying onto my windows and doors or whatever. Why Norway's rules make no practical sense. Safer than household cleaners, safer than many paints, safer than boat varnish, safer than diesel, safer than turpentine, safer, much, much safer than the chemicals my friend bought. Are others picking up on this? Yeah, apparently. Quietly, there's growing movement in Sweden, Denmark, Germany, UK, Netherlands towards natural insecticides, in spite of what the states say. Pyrethrum is being rediscovered because it works, it's safe, it's safe, it's cheap, it doesn't poison soil, it doesn't require hazmat suit, it doesn't... Yeah. Now, apparently, even though it's illegal here, I can buy it in any of the countries surrounding Norway and drive in with it. Cross-border purchase illegal because of EEA rules. This is part most Norwegians don't realise. If the product is legally sold in the EU EEA, you can bring it to Norway for personal use. Pyrethrum concentrate falls under personal import, non-restricted biocides, non-controlled substances, non-pharmaceuticals, non-hazardous chemicals. So customs don't care. And that is why the customs officer found it amusing when I bought it in. It doesn't involve heavy-duty solvent, that's just confusion. Pyrethrum is a plant extract, biodegradable, safe, it has mild carriers, no heavy solvents. Synthetic pyrethronoids, on the other hand, permethrin, all the rest of it, need petroleum carriers, industrial solvents, long-lasting residues. So, go out and buy it. It's made from chrysanthemum plants. There are plantations in Australia, Africa, across the Philippines. Imagine that flower, acres and acres of nodding chrysanthemum heads and that wonderful smell. Drive to Sweden or Denmark, buy the concentrate, bring it home. Customs won't blink. You're not smuggling, you're not breaking the law, you're simply bypassing a classification error. And you're using the product that works, is safe, is cheap, lasts decades, doesn't poison the soil, doesn't require a certificate. Right. Isn't that fun?